Hey there, welcome back. It's so nice to see you again in our calm little space of stories and soft dreams. Here we share relaxing tales to slow your heart and ease your mind. If you love peaceful nights and gentle words, don't forget to subscribe and stay close. There's always another story waiting for you. The Slow Tide. Healing Fiction Novel. Chapter 10. Something New. December arrived quietly, bringing shorter days and the kind of cold that settled into your bones and stayed there. Maya had been in Thornberry Bay for 6 weeks now, long enough that the town felt less like a refuge and more like a place she actually lived. Long enough that Ruth knew her coffee order without asking, that Helen no longer knocked before entering her room, that people on the street called her by name instead of just nodding politely. Long enough that she'd started to think about what came next. The thought arrived one morning while she was painting. The familiar anxiety about her dwindling savings, the practical question of sustainability, the nagging voice that whispered she couldn't hide forever. But this time, the anxiety was accompanied by something new. Curiosity. Not what should I do, but what do I want to do? The distinction felt significant. Maya set down her brush and picked up her phone. She hadn't called Dr. Chen since arriving in Thornberry Bay, relying instead on the informal therapy of ocean and community and Helen's quiet wisdom. But suddenly she wanted to hear her therapist's voice, to share what she'd learned, to ask the questions that were beginning to emerge. Dr. Chen answered on the second ring. Maya, I was wondering when I'd hear from you. How are you? I'm good. Actually good. Not just saying it. Maya settled into her chair, looking out at the gray ocean. I stayed. I turned down a job offer and chose to keep healing. How does that feel? Scary, but like standing at the edge of something new and not knowing if I'll fly or fall. And you're calling because... Maya smiled. Dr. Chen never let her hide behind pleasantries. Because I'm starting to think about what comes next. Not going back to my old life. I know that's not the answer. But I can't stay here indefinitely on savings. Eventually I'll need income. And I don't know what that looks like. What do you want it to look like? That's the thing. I don't know. For the first time in my life, I'm not following someone else's blueprint. I'm not climbing a ladder or checking boxes or proving anything. I'm just existing. And it's wonderful and terrifying, and I have no idea how to turn it into a sustainable life. Dr. Chen was quiet for a moment. Maya, do you remember what you said in our first session? When I asked what brought you in? That I was drowning. And do you still feel that way? Maya looked around her room. The paintings on the walls, the books on the nightstand, the ocean beyond the window. No, now I feel like I'm learning to swim. Slowly, in my own way. But actually swimming instead of just thrashing. Then maybe the question isn't what comes next. Maybe it's, what do you need right now to keep swimming? Not forever. Just for the next few months. The question settled over Maya like a gentle weight. What did she need? Not what she should want, not what looked impressive or practical, but what she actually needed to continue healing while also beginning to build something new. I need time, she said slowly. But I also need purpose. Something to work toward that isn't just about fixing myself. Something that feels meaningful. Keep going. I need to stay connected to this place, these people. But I also need to feel like I'm contributing something, not just taking. Maya paused, a thought crystallizing. I need to create, not for clients or career advancement, but because creating is how I make sense of the world. And maybe I need to see if other people find meaning in what I create too. The art show, Dr. Chen said. Are you going to submit something? I don't know. The work is so personal, so imperfect. What if people hate it? What if they don't understand it? What if they do? What if your imperfect personal work is exactly what someone else needs to see? What if your vulnerability gives them permission to be vulnerable too? Maya thought about the bonfire, about crying in front of strangers and finding acceptance instead of judgment, about the way sharing her truth had created space for others to share theirs. I'm scared, she admitted. Of course you are. You're considering being seen. Really seen. Not the polished professional version, but the raw, becoming version. That's terrifying. Dr. Chen's voice softened. But Maya, you're ready. You might not feel ready, but you are. Trust that. After they hung up, Maya sat with the conversation, letting it settle. The art show was in 2 weeks. Margaret had mentioned it again at the potluck, encouraged her to submit at least one piece. Sienna had offered to help her frame something if she decided to participate. The old Maya would have spent weeks perfecting a piece, making it gallery-worthy, ensuring it met some external standard of excellence. The new Maya, this tentative, becoming version, wanted to submit something honest, something that showed the journey, not just the destination. She looked at the paintings around her room, the abstract ones from her first weeks, full of chaos and uncertainty. The Tide Pool series, more focused but still experimental. And the newest one, the people gathered around the table, rough and emotional, and completely unlike anything she'd created in her professional career. That one. That was the piece that needed to be seen. That afternoon, Maya walked to Sienna's shop, the painting carefully wrapped in a sheet. The bell chimed as she entered, and Sienna looked up from behind the counter where she was mixing custom paint colors for a client. Maya, please tell me that's what I think it is. I'm submitting to the show. If you'll still help me frame it. Sienna's grin was radiant. Are you kidding? I'd be honored. Let me see. Maya unwrapped the painting carefully, her hands trembling slightly. Sienna studied it in silence, her expression unreadable. Maya's anxiety spiked. It's terrible, she hates it, this was a mistake. This is beautiful, Sienna breathed. Maya, this is really beautiful. Not technically perfect, but that doesn't matter. It's full of love, of longing, of hope. Anyone looking at it will feel that. You think so? I know so. Sienna ran her finger along the edge of the canvas, careful not to touch the painted surface. This is what art is supposed to be. Not impressive, just true. She looked up. We should frame it simply. Nothing fancy. Let the work speak for itself. They spent the next hour selecting a frame. Plain wood, light-colored, nothing that would compete with the painting. As they worked, Sienna talked about her own journey with showing her work, the fear and vulnerability and eventual liberation of letting people see her truth. The first time I showed my paintings publicly, I almost threw up, Sienna admitted, measuring the canvas. I was so convinced people would hate them, would see how not good enough I was. But you know what happened? People connected with them. Not everyone, but the right people. The ones who needed to see exactly what I'd created. What if no one connects with mine? Then you'll have been brave anyway. And that matters more than success. Sienna positioned the frame carefully. But Maya, people will connect. This painting, it's about belonging. About finding home. Everyone wants that. Everyone's looking for it. You've just been brave enough to paint it. They finished the framing as the afternoon light faded to early evening. The painting looked different in its frame. More official somehow, but also more vulnerable. Like putting on armor that was actually made of glass. When's the drop-off? Maya asked. Friday morning. Margaret wants everything by noon so she can set up over the weekend. Show opens next Friday evening. Sienna handed her the framed piece. You're really doing this. You're really putting yourself out there. I'm terrified. Good. That means it matters. Sienna pulled her into a quick hug. I'm proud of you. This is a big deal. Even if you're trying to convince yourself it's not. Walking back to the inn, Maya clutched the painting to her chest, protecting it from the wind. She felt exposed and brave and slightly nauseous. This was so different from presenting work to clients. Then she'd been showing her skill, her strategic thinking, her ability to meet their needs. This was showing her soul. Her actual, imperfect, still becoming soul. But Dr. Chen was right. She was ready. Maybe not confident, but ready. That evening, Daniel stopped by the inn, ostensibly to drop off some information about volunteer opportunities at the sanctuary, but really, Maya suspected, just to see her. They'd fallen into an easy pattern over the past weeks. Coffee dates that weren't dates, beach walks, dinners at the kettle. Neither of them had named what was happening between them, but it felt significant. Different from anything Maya had experienced before. With Marcus, there had always been an element of performance, being the right kind of girlfriend for a successful man, maintaining the image of the power couple. With Daniel, she could just be uncertain, messy, becoming. And he seemed to like her more for it, not less. I heard you're submitting to the show, he said, settling into the chair across from her table. That's amazing. How did you already know? I only decided this morning. Small town. Sienna told Ruth, who told Tom, who mentioned it when he stopped by the sanctuary. Daniel smiled. The grapevine here is impressively efficient. Also, everyone's excited. We don't get much new art in town. Great. No pressure then. Maya felt her anxiety spike again. Hey! Daniel leaned forward, his expression serious. You don't have to impress anyone. You just have to show up honestly. That's all art is. Showing up honestly and trusting that someone out there needs to see exactly what you're offering. What if I'm offering something no one needs? Impossible. Your work comes from your healing, and everyone here understands healing. Everyone here has needed time and space and permission to become. Your paintings are visual evidence that becoming is possible. That matters. Maya wanted to believe him. She looked at the painting leaning against the wall. The people gathered around the table, sharing food and presents. That's what she'd found here. That's what had saved her. And maybe, just maybe, someone else needed to see that it was possible. Will you come to the opening? she asked. I might need moral support. I wouldn't miss it. He paused, then added carefully, though I should tell you, I'm not just coming as a friend. I'm coming because I want to see your work. 'Cause I care about you. And because I'm hoping after the show you might want to get dinner. An actual official dinner. Like a date. Maya's heart stuttered. She'd known this was coming, had felt the shift between them over the past weeks. And unlike with Marcus, unlike with every relationship before, she wanted this. Not because it looked good on paper or checked some box, but because Daniel saw her and she saw him and there was something real between them. I'd like that, she said softly. A lot. But I need to be honest, I'm still figuring myself out. I can't promise I'm ready for anything serious or that I won't be a mess sometimes. I'm still becoming. I know. I'm still becoming too. That's what makes it work. We're not expecting each other to be finished products. We're just two people becoming together. If you want. His smile was tentative, hopeful, vulnerable in a way that made Maya's chest ache. No pressure. Just possibility. Possibility sounds perfect. They talked late into the evening, conversation flowing easily between serious and light. Daniel told her about his plans to expand the sanctuary's education programs, about his dream of creating a citizen science project where locals could help monitor marine populations. Maya talked about her growing certainty that she didn't want to return to corporate work, her uncertainty about what she did want, her tentative hope that maybe she could build something new here. When he finally left, pressing a soft kiss to her cheek that promised more but didn't demand it, Maya stood at her window and watched the stars emerge. 6 weeks ago, she'd arrived here drowning. Now she was not only swimming but beginning to imagine where she might swim to. The future was still uncertain. She still didn't have answers about career or money or long-term sustainability. But she had community. She had purpose, tentative and emerging. She had art that meant something, at least to her. And she had the beginning of something with Daniel that felt real in a way nothing had felt real in years. That was enough to build on. More than enough. It was everything. Friday morning arrived gray and cold, perfect weather for second-guessing every decision. Maya carried her painting to the library, her stomach in knots, seriously considering turning around and going back to the inn. But Helen had woken her with coffee and encouragement. You're doing this. No backing out now. And Sienna had texted 3 times already, making sure she was on her way. The community had claimed her. They expected her to show up. She couldn't disappoint them. The library was small, just 2 rooms filled with well-loved books and comfortable reading chairs. Margaret had cleared wall space in the main room, already hanging several pieces. Olivia's ceramic wall hangings, Patrick's black and white photography, Jessie's watercolor studies of marine life. Maya! Margaret called out, looking up from a painting she was positioning. Perfect timing. I have the perfect spot for yours. Right by the window where the light hits in the afternoon. Let me see what you brought. Maya unwrapped the painting with shaking hands. Margaret studied it silently, her reading glasses sliding down her nose. Maya held her breath. Oh, honey, Margaret said finally, her voice thick with emotion. This is special. This is what we needed. She called over her shoulder. Olivia, come look at this. Olivia appeared from the back room and stopped when she saw the painting. Oh, wow. Maya, this is gorgeous. So much heart in it. It's technically not very good. Stop, Margaret interrupted firmly. Technique can be learned. Heart can't. You have heart. Trust that. They hung it in the promised spot, where afternoon light would illuminate the figures gathered around the table. Looking at it on the wall, surrounded by other local art, Maya felt something shift. This was real. She'd created something and put it into the world. Whether anyone bought it or liked it or even noticed it, she'd done the brave thing. She'd been honest publicly. That mattered. That counted. "Thank you," she said to Margaret and Olivia, "for making space for me, for believing my work deserved to be here." "Every voice deserves to be heard," Margaret said simply. "Every perspective matters. That's what community is, making space for each other's truths." She squeezed Maya's hand. "See you at the opening next week. Bring wine." It's a BYOB situation. Walking back through town, Maya felt lighter than she had in months, maybe years. She'd done something that terrified her and survived. Had put her becoming on display and trusted that it was enough. At the kettle, she found Daniel sitting at the counter with Tom, both of them drinking coffee and arguing good-naturedly about something to do with fish populations. Daniel looked up when she entered, his smile immediate and warm. "How'd it go?" he asked. "I hung a painting in a public space where people will see it and possibly judge it, and I'm trying not to have a panic attack." Maya slid onto the stool next to him. "So, living my best life." Tom chuckled. "That's the spirit. Nothing like a little existential terror to remind you you're alive." Ruth appeared with coffee and a knowing look. "I heard you're showing at the library. About time this town had some new art to look at. We've been staring at the same pieces for years." "Don't listen to her," Daniel said. "She's secretly thrilled. She's already told half the town to come to the opening. You're going to have quite the crowd. That's supposed to make me feel better." "Nope. But it's reality." He grinned. "Might as well embrace it." Maya sipped her coffee and looked around the kettle. At Ruth chatting with regulars, at Tom reading his newspaper, at Daniel beside her radiating steady, patient support. At the life she'd built here, small and imperfect in hers. She'd survived her breakdown. She'd chosen healing over achievement. She'd turned down the safe path to stay on the uncertain one. She'd made art and friends and a tentative beginning of something that felt like home. And now she was showing her work publicly, risking rejection and judgment, trusting that her imperfect truth was worth sharing. A month ago this would have been impossible, but here she was, doing it anyway. Not because she was brave, but because she was becoming braver. Day by day, choice by choice, moment by moment. That was enough. She was enough. And whatever came next, success or failure, staying or leaving, romance or friendship, she'd face it as herself. Not the polished version, not the successful version, just Maya. Still becoming, still imperfect, still enough. Finally, truly, completely enough.